welcome to another Miniature Realms video. So hobby vlog number 1 for a bolt action project that I promised myself I wouldn't start till 2022, but let's take a closer look. So here we are at my desk. It's a series of items, some purchases, a couple of things I had before that I wasn't originally planning to do for quite a while. So those of you that know Out of the Frying Pan, my co-host Dan and I have very briefly touched on the idea of doing a little side project of bolt action in 2022, and it would literally be one very small force each, just to sort of have a bit of fun, more of a painting and modelling project than anything else. And you know, I think I was pretty set on it. Dan, I don't know if he's going to do it or not, and there's no pressure on him to do it at all, but I had in the back of my head that I wanted to do British 8th Army and have done for a number of years. So it's been kind of stuck there in the back of my mind that this is going to be something I'm going to do next year. I've got a lot on this year. It's all planned, and I definitely don't want to derail any of that with other projects. I'm usually quite disciplined. So I've got the massive American Civil War epic battles project, and that's my main historical project at the moment. And then I've got a number of Middle Earth based projects as well. But it's been niggling away at the back of my mind that I just really wanted to paint a couple of things for British 8th Army. I've missed painting my own tanks. I haven't done any for a few years since I last painted any Heresy stuff, and I don't play Heresy anymore. I don't own any of that stuff, but really miss that style of modelling and painting, the weathering and all those kind of stuff. I really kind of like that military modelling style. And yes, I get to do it as part of commissions sometimes, but there's something special about doing your own. So that was nagging at the back of my mind, and I just thought, well, maybe if I just made my first couple of small purchases towards the project, that I could paint the odd little thing, and that's generally the plan. I'm not planning on playing any bolt action this year. If it happens, if I've done all my projects and I have time to build and paint enough and have a game, then great. I'm not saying no, but that's not my plan this year. This isn't becoming a gaming project, so to speak. So this vlog will be a lot slower than the American Civil War one on the channel. The progress will be a lot slower, and it may well be that after I've painted a couple of things that it kind of goes on hold until I paint the rest of the army and start playing. So it's going to be a little bit slower. So if you're watching this, don't expect it to be kind of the weekly updates, if not quicker, that I've been doing with the American Civil War stuff. Anyway, so having chatted with Ken from Miniature War Game Warriors, and I was a guest, very lucky to be a guest on one of his live streams a couple of weeks ago. We obviously talked off air about other projects and things, and he was saying that I was quite good at not distracting myself, and I seem to be doing the opposite now. But I spoke to him a little bit about that I had an idea of doing British 8th Army, and I'll talk about that in a minute. There's a clue here. I'll talk about that and why. And I said, what shall I buy? The starter set looks good, but I really wanted to paint a tank or something, and I'm not sure whether I liked what was in the starter sets. And I said to him, I'm tempted to just pick up one box of inventory and one tank. Which one, are these two okay? And I was originally going to buy the Perry's plastics, and quite rightly he mentioned that they are very true scale, might not scale with some of the other stuff you buy, and I didn't realise, did a bit of research and found that I probably did prefer these. So I purchased the Warlord Games British 8th Army plastics, and you'll have seen, you may have seen the unboxing video on the channel already for that. And then I really wanted to buy a tank, and I spoke to him about it. He told me to excuse me, check out Rubicon Models, and that's this one over here. But I didn't do enough research really, and I didn't really realise that that I picked up the wrong Stuart, and I really needed a basic M3 to fit in this theatre of war. So I got this. I can move that out of the way now. I may well keep that for a later project or move it on, etc, etc. There is an unboxing of this one and a slight comparison with the sprues for the Rubicon M5A1 Stuart. So those of you watch the unboxing videos will know I've built my M3. M3 Stuart, and I've built a couple, literally these two dudes, of my British 8th Army. So that's as far as the project goes so far. Let me make a bit more space for myself while I talk you through what my plans are going to be. and why I've picked 8th Army, and that's really the core of this video. So my granddad gave me this book many moons ago, and there's an inscription inside. It was on my birthday in 1988. I would have been 10 years old at that point, and at this stage I wasn't wargaming. At 10, I think it was prior to me discovering Hero Quest and going down the Games Workshop sort of journey, but I did do the odd Airfix kit, and I've never read this book, so we've got some history here. This lovely old Airfix book, so it's got some history, talking about tactics, so I am going to read this. No doubt I'll be picking up some Osprey books as well, so I love those, especially for a sort of a basic introduction to a theatre. So it's just a lovely book. You know, in modern day comparisons, obviously it's black and white, there's no colour prints and things, but there's something nostalgic about these old Airfix books, and it's little bits about modelling as well later, which will be even less relevant, I believe, based on it being old Airfix kits and things as well. So not going to be super helpful to me, but in terms of some of the historical stuff, great, and some of the symbols of divisions and the organisation, so there will be some useful stuff in there. But I've always loved that. I've always loved the visual of the appearance of British 8th Army in the desert. It's always, I don't know why, the warmer climes of World War II theatres always seem to appeal more than the kind of the Western Europe kind of muddy stuff. And I appreciate it won't always be muddy, but so I've had this on my shelf as a kind of sentimental thing for a long time, and I'm not a World War II gamer. I have never really kind of delved deep into World War II gaming. I'm much more comfortable with my historical knowledge of Black Powder era, specifically Napoleonic and American Civil War. I'm a kind of have a moderate level of knowledge. My knowledge of this period is quite poor, really. Much sort of a standard level that many a bloke has from watching war films and from playing Medal of Honor and Call of Duty and things. So I really don't know my stuff very well. I don't know the weapon names and things very well, so I will make lots of mistakes. So I'm going to do these vlogs as much as anything to get some help from you guys. Lots of help in the comments, lots of tips and things, but it's a nostalgia project because of the book that my granddad gave me. My granddad's no longer with us, so passed away many years ago. So nostalgia project. I love the aesthetic, so these kind of pictures, I just love that, the desert schemes. I really wanted to do a desert based army, and I don't think I've ever done it before, even for when I did Horse Heresy tanks. I know it's not the best comparison, but I don't think I've ever really done a very kind of deserty theme, so really excited about doing that as well. And for me right now, it's very much a painting project, and making it I'm really excited to build these models and make it look cool. The playing the game will come a little bit later. Saying that, I do want some help when it comes to choices and things to build. I'm never going to play this game competitively, but I've only built 2 guides now, so put some tips in the comments about how I should build the rest of these. I think my initial plan will be I might build more, but it's just to paint one section and the tank, because I really don't want it to derail my other things. This isn't my number one goal. It's a painting project at the moment. I really want to paint some of my other projects, and the catching up will come later on. But I'd love some ideas in the comments. What's the simplest way, and what should I build for my first section? Do I go 8? Do I go 10 men? Should I just go standard weapons now, or should I put one of the special weapons in? Let me know in the comments. I will be asking other people as well. But I'd love to know what people's thoughts are, and then also how to expand on this tank and this box. And don't tell me I should have bought the starter set, because I haven't done, and I probably won't now, because you may well give me too many infantry. But yeah, let me know. Be really interested. And then before we go, final part of this. Picked up some paints. I'm a big fan of Scale 75 paints. I've not opened these yet, so I thought rather than do an unboxing for paint, which is a bit weird unless you're going to actually try them out, I thought I'd open them up as part of this first video. I'm a big fan of Scale 75 paints. You can see some in the background here. If I scanned around, you'd see a lot more. I use a lot of Vallejo and things as well, but a big fan of Scale 75. And I don't know whether these are the same as the standard scale colour range, but I quite like that they're quite matte in their finish. I think that would be perfect, especially for a desert-based sort of scheme. I'm a big fan of texture in paint. I mean texture, sort of using the paint finish to give the ideas of the changes in texture, and I just think the matte will be very, very good. So what do we get? So we got camo grey, camo yellow sand, sand yellow, dark earth, Russian uniform, and US green. These are the first Warfront Scale 75 things I've picked up. They've always got really useful painting guides inside. Now this is obviously a larger scale miniature, but it will still give me an idea about where to use what tones, etc, etc. So it will be handy, and I do like this look, I do like this finish. Obviously you won't be doing that level of detail on a 28mm model, but I quite like paint sets, and I quite like the idea that this will give me the base level of colours that I need to do the basic troops and maybe the tanks as well. Might need some grey as well, looking at some of those schemes. I'll have to do a bit more research because I really don't know what I'm doing. But I'm really excited to try it. So I am going to maybe build a couple more of these soon, but tips in the comments below will be greatly appreciated about what's a safe way of building the sections, what won't I need, what won't I use. I didn't want to do, I could just build one of everything, I suppose, and be fairly safe. The chances are I might only build, say, 1 or 2 sections and leave the rest on the sprue anyway until I kind of quicken the project properly next year. But I don't mind planning ahead a little bit. I don't mind being told that I've bought the wrong things already, because I'm sure some of you will tell me that. It's not the end of the world. I've picked up the digital copies, bought I should say, I bought the iPad version of the Armies of Great Britain, and I bought the digital copy of the rule book that I'm not really planning on getting into the rules in any great deal. When I've got other things on, well, I'll wait till I start to play. My brain doesn't contain that much information very well, but I have picked up the armies of Great Britain just because of the army lists that are in there. So I'm looking at Operation Compass here, and you probably won't pick it up very well on the screen, so I can see the stuff that I'm allowed to choose, but who knows whether, you know, that's the right things to choose for this army I'm building. So any tips and stuff, just shove it below, and I will greatly appreciate it. But anyway, that's probably too long now, rabbited on for about 15 minutes and not really got anywhere. So thanks for watching the first vlog. I'll look forward to the help from more of you more experienced bolt action people, and I'll catch you soon. Thanks for watching.